All right, let's get into your top 25 preseason rankings.
Hold on, let me turn the page. All righty. If I can read my own handwriting. Let's go. Let's fire away. I will go 25-1. All right, let's get going. I got to take a breath. Sparty cracks in at number 25.
Dude, they're not good. I don't know what you're like. The roster isn't top 25 worthy. Get out of here. You're only doing this to get a reaction out of me.
Yeah. Dude, they got rid of the losing his backcourt. Now they got some guys that want to play. Sparty and Tom Izzo coming in with a chip on their shoulder at number 25. I think everybody is slowly starting to buy into my number 24 team. I think I may have been a little bit ahead of it. Ole Miss, I love what they did in the portal. They look like some of his Texas Tech teams with all these 6'6", 6'7" guys. I like them at 24. 23, I got the Illini. Brad Underwood, he's going to figure it out with this portal class. I know it's a new roster. They lose Shannon. They lose Mayer. They lose all these guys. But I still like the guys that they brought in through the portal, and they'll figure it out offensively. 22, I got the other side of Cincinnati. Got Xavier, the Musketeers. Got some guys coming back from injury. Last year was a down year, but if you really look at it, getting Fremantle and those guys back is going to be a huge addition. I like them back as a top 25 team at number 22. Number 21, I got the Cincinnati Bearcats. They bring back all that production. They went through the Big 12 gauntlet. Now they're a year older. They got size. They got guards. I like what Wes Miller has coming back. So I got them at 21. Indiana at 20. I guess I'll give out a little TMZ here. They paid enough for this 20th ranking. So obviously they get Ballo. They get Miles over from Wazoo as well. We'll see how these pieces mesh. Talent-wise, they probably should be a little bit higher, but I need to see it from Mike Woodson and company. Number 19, I like UCLA. I like what they had got through the portal. They're old. Last year was an outlier, so I got them at number 19. I got one of my final four teams here, the St. John's Red Storm. I think it'll take a minute to get this backcourt meshing, but I like Richmond. I like Smith. I think they're going to be really good, so I got the St. John's Red Storm and Rick Pitino at 18. I got your Final Four dark horse at 17, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I love McCaslin. I love what he did in the portal as well with Federico at the rim protection. And I just think that the pieces mesh on this roster. At 16, I like Texas A&M. They're flying under the radar, everybody, by the way. They bring back basically everybody from the team that went to the round of 32 last year. So I like A&M a lot with the buzzsaw here. I got them at 16. I don't care if this next team lost Tyler Kolek and Oso. Marquette, 15. Culture, Shaka Smart. They're gonna still find a way with Cam Jones and company to get shit done. They have an identity. Creighton, I like Ashworth coming back, and most importantly, I like Kalkbrenner coming back. They've been a second weekend team consistently. I got them at 14. I got Rick Barnes as well. I know they lost Dalton Connect, but they're going to be really good with Ziegler again defensively. They have an identity. These teams that have an identity, they find a way to get in that top 15, top 20 year in and year out. Rick Barnes knows what he's doing. Speaking of guys that knows what they're doing, and Noah Bieniek is going to love this one. The Purdue Boilermakers post Zach Edey coming at number 12 here. What's not to like? I mean, other than not having Edey, I mean, Braden Smith comes back. I think that the backcourt's good. It's going to be an older school Purdue team where they're just going to be solid, but they don't have the giant inside in Edey. At number 11, I got the Tar Heels with RJ Davis coming back. They're good. They're not that sexy this year. I think they're actually flying a little bit under the radar with how hyped Duke is. I got the Tar Heels coming in at 11. I got Arizona, the Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd. They go from the Pac-12. They come into the Big 12. I do like their overall roster. Townsend coming over from Oakland's a big piece, and I think they will find a way to play fast and win a bunch of ball games in the regular season. We'll see if they can get it done in March. I got your boys, Auburn, your national champion at number 9. I don't really need to go in depth. You've already sold them enough. I like the pieces. 8, I got the Baylor Bears. It's not every day you go out and get two guys in the portal that have played in the Final Four, and Jeremy Roach and Norchad Amir, and pair them with guys that are already good on your roster. Scott Drew turns down Kentucky coming back to Baylor. Glad to keep him in the 12. Baylor at number 8 for me. At number 7, I've already sold this team enough as well. I got the Gonzaga, Bulldogs, all that production coming back. They basically lost 1 or 2 games from about mid-January and on. They won at Kentucky. They finished strong before falling to Purdue in the Sweet 16. They're in my national championship for a reason. Number 6, I got Duke. All that talent. I know everybody talks about Cooper Flagg, but I like the experience in the front court to complement a young buck. So I like what Shire did. I know it wasn't the sexiest portal class, but they didn't need that. We'll see how they are at the point guard position. That's their biggest hole. At number 5, we're going to go UConn. By default, they have earned a top 5 ranking because they won a national championship back-to-back years. Do I really think that they're a top 5 team? Probably not, but I'm going to blindly trust Dan Hurley. Brings back Caravan. We'll see what Aiden Mahaney gets and how he transitions into that new role post all these guys that have been just so good to them over the last couple of years. At number 4, we got the Iowa State Cyclones. My Cyclones, baby, Taven Lipsey back. And bringing back the majority of the 4 starters from last year's Sweet 16 team. Otzelberger, they got a hell of a culture there. They're going to guard the shit out of you. They're going to win a bunch of ball games. Can they take that next jump in March is the biggest knock on Iowa State. But from a preseason rankings, they're right there in my top 4 at number 4. The Alabama Crimson Tide, Mark Spears comes back. They had the big fella from Rutgers as a rim protector, Cliff. They're going to be good once again, man. They found their identity down the stretch when they made that Final Four run. I like Nate Oates' group to be number 3. Number 2, I got the Houston Cougars. They bring back 8 out of 9. They're going to play for Jamal Shed. Disappointed how that year ended. The Cougs are my number 2 team. And then number 1, my national champion, Bill Self, Kansas. They're loaded. They got good guards. They can score in the perimeter this year. They're going to be better defensively, and they can score inside, and they have Bill Self. So that's my inaugural Moneyline MAC top 25 for the 24-25 season, everybody. Cheers. Glad it's here.